You know what that music means. Thank you for tuning in to this brand new Round 2 Wrestling podcast here on the 31st of October, 2023. That's right, it is Halloween. Happy Halloween to all you wrestling fans out there. And for those of you who have never listened to this podcast, let me explain what Round 2 Wrestling is. Round 2 Wrestling is very similar to a new-styled broadcast. We have it broken down into 4 easy-to-digest segments, or in this case, we call them rounds. Round 1 is the pro wrestling rumor mill. This could be 100% fabricated bullshit, and it could have no truth to it whatsoever. It could have a shred of truth, or it could be 100% actual factual news, but it's the rumor mill. You never know. Move on to round 2, pro wrestling news. This is actual confirmed news across multiple outlets, brought to you exclusively by Round 2 Wrestling. We move on to round 3, title matches. Did your favorite champion from your favorite promotion defend its title this past week? We have those exclusive results for you, the fan, in round 3. We then conclude this brand new round 2 wrestling podcast with round 4, a fan and producer favorite, Did You Know Pro Wrestling Facts. However, we are going to kick things off by taking a listen to the pro wrestling rumor mill. Alright, here we go. After WWE announced the Bash in Berlin pay-per-view for next year, Fightful Select reported that a premium live event in Paris has been discussed heavily, quote-unquote. Many believe it will be the Backlash pay-per-view that will be in the French capital next year. Wrestling Observer Radio's Dave Meltzer said Ric Flair had a quote-unquote verbal deal with Tony Khan in 2021 to go to AEW, but it was not the right time for him to be there following sexual misconduct allegations made against Flair on Dark Side of the Ring. BWE indicates that, quote, unless something changes last minute, end quote, WWE's plan has always been for Jade Cargill, that is the former wrestler from All Elite Wrestling, to debut on the Raw brand. RVD, aka Rob Van Dam, implied that he recently received a phone call from WWE where he, quote, got officially unbooked, unquote, for next year's WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia as their response to his recent appearances in All Elite Wrestling. Per Fightful Select, the front-runner city to host WWE SummerSlam 2024 is reportedly Cleveland, Ohio. Fightful Select claims former WWE star Heath Slater is now a free agent after his deal with Impact Wrestling expired. Per The Observer, WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns is, quote, not scheduled for Survivor Series, end quote. After Crown Jewel, the next premium live event he is scheduled to wrestle at is Royal Rumble 2024. So if you are looking to see the Universal Undisputed WWE Champion in a pay-per-view for the rest of 2024, or 2023, excuse me, you are going to have to wait. Or at least that is the rumor that is going around the wrestling world. Per Fightful Select, talent within WWE have said creative in WWE has been, quote, much more straightforward since the TKO merger, end quote. This is good news for talent and for those working within the company who have been used to Vince McMahon undercutting and slashing and rewriting things at the last second. It seems like a little bit of stability has descended upon the WWE locker room. That draws to a conclusion round 1 in the pro wrestling rumor mill. Let's keep this show going right along. We're going to move right into round 2. This is Pro Wrestling News. AEW's Bryan Danielson out with an injury again.
You what?
During this Saturday's episode of AEW Collision, it was announced by Tony Schiavone that Bryan Danielson broke his orbital bone and is expected to be out for the remainder of 2023. He will be undergoing surgery too, with no timetable being released as to when he will be available to wrestle again. Former tag team champions released by promotion.
You what?
Lance Anoa'i and Juicy Finau, aka the Samoan SWAT team, revealed on Sunday night on X, formerly known as Twitter, that a request to be released from Major League Wrestling, aka MLW, has been granted. Their last match for MLW was back on July 8th at MLW Never Say Never, where they lost the MLW Tag Team titles. Whether or not they end up with a different promotion this year has yet to be seen. Another wrestler from Major League Wrestling asks for his release.
You what?
Fightful Select broke the news on Saturday that former MLW World Heavyweight Champion Alex Hammerstone has requested his release from the promotion. Hammerstone is said to be under contract until the end of 2025, and there are conflicting reports coming out after this announcement was made, with some saying Hammerstone has been released by MLW, while other reports are saying MLW has no intention of granting a release to the former world champion. New updates surrounding former WWF Diva/manager Tammy Sunny Sytch. Tammy Sunny Sytch and her defense attorney are seeking a lower sentence because, quote, she requires specialized treatment for a mental disorder or for a physical disability, end quote. Two witnesses, Jeffrey Danziger and Dr. John Matthew Fabian, are said to testify in defense of Miss Sytch, but it is unclear what mental disorder the pair would testify on. Sytch is set to appear for sentencing on November 27th in Dayton Beach, Florida. Former MMA/WWE champion Not Done Yet works first indie event since her WWE release.
You what?
Rowdy Ronda Rousey returned to the ring on Thursday for Lucha Vavoom in Los Angeles, California, tag teaming with former MMA fighter Marina Shafir. This was Rousey's first match since SummerSlam in Detroit, Michigan, where she lost to another MMA fighter, Shayna Baszler. This was in an MMA rule-styled match, and very little was seen of Ronda Rousey after SummerSlam 2023. America's oldest wrestling promotion finally trademarks its own name.
You what?
NWA, or the National Wrestling Alliance, was founded in Waterloo, Iowa, July 18, 1948. On October 30th, 2023, the NWA filed to formally have its own name trademarked, 75 years after its founding. British indie wrestler earns contract. Harley Hudson earned herself a developmental contract with Impact Wrestling by winning the company's Impact UK Gut Check competition in Coventry, England. Hudson will begin training at the Can-Am Dojo in Canada in preparation for her TNA Impact debut. Once again, congratulations to Harley Hudson and her new Impact Wrestling contract. Impact Wrestling announces final Impact pay-per-view name and location, while also announcing TNA Impact's first pay-per-view after the rebrand in January 2024.
You what?
Impact Wrestling's final resolution is set to occur on Saturday, December 9th at Toronto's renowned Don Kolov Arena. TNA Impact Hard to Kill pay-per-view will air live around the world on Saturday, January 13th, 2024, from the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas, Nevada. That is the end of round 2 and the pro wrestling news. We're going to jump right into round 3 title matches. However, warning, this next segment may contain spoilers, including results from Impact Wrestling UK Invasion, NJPW Fighting Spirit Unleashed, NWA Samhain, Impact Turning Point, AEW, WWE, MLW, NWA, CMLL, AAA, and several others. Alright, we're going to rush right through this. Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champions The Elite defeated Hardy Party to retain the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team titles. AEW Women's World Champion Hikaru Shida defeated Ruby Soho to retain the AEW Women's World Championship. Impact Knockouts World Champion Trinity defeated Deonna Purrazzo to retain the Impact Knockouts World Championship. JR Kratos and Odinson defeated NWA United States Tag Team Champions Daisy Kill and Talos to become the new NWA United States Tag Team Champions. NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion Colby Corino defeated Joe Alonzo to retain the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship. NWA Women's World Tag Team Champions Pretty Empowered defeated Natalia Markova and Taylor Rising to retain the NWA Women's World Tag Team titles. NWA National Heavyweight Champion Silas Mason defeated Chris Adonis to retain the NWA National Heavyweight Championship. NWA Women's World Champion Kenzie Page defeated Ruthie J to retain the NWA Women's World Championship. NWA World Tag Team Champions Blunt Force Trauma defeated Mike Knox and Trevor Murdoch to retain the NWA World Tag Team titles. NWA World Heavyweight Champion EC3 defeated Thom Latimer to retain the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. AEW Women's World Champion Hikaru Shida defeated Abaddon to retain the AEW Women's World Championship. Ring of Honor World Television Champion Samoa Joe defeated Rhett Titus to retain the Ring of Honor World TV title. AEW World Heavyweight Champion Maxwell Jacob Friedman defeated Kenny Omega to retain the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Ring of Honor Women's World Champion Athena defeated Mercedes Martinez to retain the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. Impact X Division Champion Chris Sabin defeated Frankie Kazarian to retain the Impact X Division Championship. New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's Champion Guila defeated Haiyan to retain the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's Championship. New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Tag Team Champions Gorillas of Destiny defeated Monster Sauce to retain the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Tag Team titles. New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Champion Eddie Kingston defeated Henair to retain the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Championship. Shingo Takagi defeated New Japan Pro Wrestling Never Openweight Champion Tama Tonga to become the new New Japan Pro Wrestling Never Openweight Champion. That draws to a conclusion round 3 and those title matches. Be sure to listen to this episode again in case you missed your favorite promotion and whether or not they had a champion retain or if a new champion was crowned. We are at the end of round 2 wrestling. We're going to jump right into this fan and producer favorite round 4, Did You Know? Did you know are little bits of information and facts about the wrestling world you may or may not have known about. You gotta love the bell. Did you know Marcelo Andreni was a Mexican wrestler who competed under the name of Roughhouse Jack O'Brien from 1934 until 1956? He is credited with inventing the abdominal stretch maneuver. Did you know Jeff Jarrett's suspenders and his ring attire for his WWF Double J gimmick was meant to look like guitar strings? Did you know Norman Smiley's WCW dance called The Big Wiggle started in 1998 and was inspired by Smiley watching football and intimidating touchdown celebrations? Thank you for tuning in to Round 2